Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, students, so how are you? This one, we continue our chapter 4, which is still under the energy audit topic, but this time we move to the other part, which is part 3. So for this part 3, it's very important for those who want to create a good report. Okay, so for the energy audit, this one as the guidelines for you to create a report reflecting to also to your assignment. Okay, let's see how we can create a good report for the energy audit. This one is as the guideline. Okay, so first is to prepare the executive summary. Okay, under the executive summary, it's not like we write a research report, but this technical report, we call it as technical report. So basically, engineer or energy manager or auditor use this executive summary to write objective of the what we call it objective of the energy audit, the scope of work. Okay, to explain what's the scope of work. So under the scope of work, we can see that the scope for the energy audit work disruption here, table 1. Maybe this one is the suggestion for the table. So because of this one is executive summary, no need for us to explain a bit details, but put some tables so to describe basic work description and the scope of work under the energy audit. So the overall plan characteristic for the energy audit started from the energy management. So the scope of work for the energy management to study energy management practice. So what's kind of the energy practice that has been done by the consumer inside their buildings, in the factory, etc. So this one is the flow for the work discussion. Okay. So for the energy audit finding summary, this one is still under the work instruction for the IT system audit. Number one is the overall plan characteristic to build the energy balance. Okay, we have learned about the energy balance on where to start. Okay, to find the electrical power trending, to study on the load opportuning. All about the energy audits and what's the description of the energy work under the energy audit. So building energy index, building a power based load to determine the energy saving using that continuous amount of the energy throughout the year. So we have the desktop audit, for example, to get the bill of electricity from the consumer, from the customer, from the client. So we build their baseline. Okay, so this one is the base load in a kilowatt. So active system energy audits, for example, we verify inside the building. That's the active system. For example, electrical supply, air conditioning system. So under the cooling system, there is the AHU, air handling unit, lighting system, room data survey. So all those things represent the energy audit for the active system. So a little bit explain the scope of work here with the work description. After that, come up with the scope of work. So to study what's for this kind of the system, IT system. So to study electrical power trending. Okay, this one is the description, work description and scope of work. And then the last part for this executive summary, to put the energy audit findings summary. Okay, this one is examples of the ECM summary. So to put all the ECNs, the potential of saving here in the summary of the table. So we can put also something like this. This one is an example, a good example for the ECM summary, and also we put in executive summary so that a client when for example top management, they want something that they can understand in short term, in short period. So when they read the summary of the report, the executive summary, and then they understand what's the directions of the reports, what's the summary, to describe all these things about the energy audit, so they can come up with the brief idea. So if this executive summary is presented in proper manner, and then we can get the confidence from the client to read more and more about the report. Okay, also we put the BI or EI, the target, the baseline here. Okay, so something like this. You can refer to this lecture note and to get some brief idea on how you can present your report later on. Okay, so when we come up with the after ECM implementation, so this one is the proposed ECM, and then we put the target of the energy saving here, the reduction. Okay, for example, your assignment to reduce at least 10%. So you must come up with the idea of the ECM energy conservation measures and adjust it to reduce the 10%, at least 10%. So to prepare the baseline and to prepare the after ECM implementation, this one is the target, okay, the proposed one. So here, the good examples to come up with the carbon emission intensity, etc. That one is good for the environment indication. So we have, in order to reduce the carbon, so we reduce the energy, right? And here is the scheme for the green pass assessment scheme for the existing building. So when we come out with this one, the level of achievement is based on the CO2 reduction. So when the CO2 reduction is more than certain percent, or 100% or 70 to 100, okay, they we come out with some labels of, for example here, diamond. So this building can be a label as the 5 diamond labeling by the government or by the authority body, to indicate that they have improved more in terms of the energy consumption reduction, as well as to reduce the carbon emission. Okay, so finish the executive summary. So next is management of energy. So the part 2 in the report is management of energy. So here, what's in under the topic is to review on the management part. For example, policy and target. Either these installations or customer or client that we do the energy audit, we review their energy policy and target, etc. If there is no policy or target, then put our suggestion later on the ECM one in the other parts. But this time we try to describe their policy or their target, or to explain a little bit about the email if this installation is under the email affected by email 2008. But or else we just describe their policy and target. If there is the policy for the energy, then we update based on what they have practiced currently, or there is something that we can do for this kind of the management based on the energy management metric, right? For example, here in 2.2 energy management metric, explain current situation of the energy management with 6 items. For example, we have learned about the EM in the chapter 2, right? So in chapter 2, present the energy management metric, so explain the current situation. So based on that, try to come up with the EMM and just make some observations for the energy management practice over there, so you can come up with this metric later on. So after that, 2.3 energy data. So documentation and monitoring, brief explain the source of data and factor related. So try to find the energy data. For example, you get the documentation and monitoring was based on the what's kind of the data that available in the building or in your client premise. 22.4 development of energy conservation measures. This one we show the energy audit process, flow or list of equipment. Okay, I can refer to example energy management. So this one is the list, the simple one, the process on how we can we want to find the energy conservation measure. This one is the process of the audit lah. Okay, so refer to the example. And then the last one is the energy management and audit team. So must have this name, the member of the energy audit team from your side and also from the client side or owner of the building. So energy management is come from the client side, okay, and our energy audit team from your side. Okay, this one is the examples for the flow of the energy audit. We start with the kit. Okay, this very simple, the simple one. Okay, the flow and until the final report. Okay, start to finish. And here also to get, okay, to put brief the what I call it, to put the list of equipment under the management of energy. So also to put here is the equipment, list of equipment. For example, here portable type, upper model, a parameter for temperature, etc. So put your equipment for the energy audit. List down all the equipment that have been used or you will use for the energy audit. All right. We move to another part is the section 3. Okay, so after 2 sections, which is executive summary, and then to review on the energy management of energy. Okay, and now we move to the building business operation service description. Okay, under this one, overview of information building, business, people, building area, all the information needs. Okay, information about the building, the address, the premise, the peoples. So the structure of the management over there, the top management, the board director, where the position of the energy management is available. Okay, the building area, comments about the business, nature of the business, and service description. What's the service? Either they the factory or the factory, the business or the output from the factory. Okay. Okay, all about the business operation service. For example, working hours 7 to 5, or there is the what you call it, the operation on still on the on the um, or 24 hours operation, right? So the next one is the energy supply information. The sources and type of the energy supply. So single line diagram of the incoming sources. So sources means if there is one sources, for example, electricity only, and then just use this type of the energy supply is electrical, so that we take the picture for the single line diagram available in the main circuit MSB room, diagram for the incoming source. Okay, so draw the incoming from the TMB to the building. Okay, try to make it clear from the sources, for example, from the TMB to the building, so that we can draw a simple single line diagram to describe the incoming of the electricity if the only electricity. But if more than one type of the energy supply, for example, a gas supply to the building, or chill water. For example, in Putrajaya or in Cyberjaya, most of building over there use water chill water. Okay, coming from the DGC, distributed cooling system. Okay, that supply to them the chill water, so they every month they can have their own chill water bill to pay to this guy that supply their chill water to the buildings. So if more than one, then we need to address, okay, these sources as well. And another part, 4.2, is total electricity supply and cost of energy. So this one, desktop data from bill of electricity, type of tariff and etc. The information from the bill, okay, from the bill put in Excel and make some kind of the analysis from the desktop. The examples here is the sample data and write the explanation. So, for example, we can get the data for the baseline for the 12th month. Okay, make some analysis over there, come up with the graph, the important information. We come up with the graph, for example, here, electrical consumption and maximum demand. And all the other part is to make some analysis to get total, mean, max, and average. Okay, you can do that. Okay, let's move to the other part is utility system description. So this one refers to the building or industry list and explain the system exists. So try to get the operation guide or maintenance guide to explain, okay, the utility system description, so that for example, this building need air conditioning system. So there is the available air conditioning and control system, centralized cooling system, for example, lighting system. So put all these things, the description of the system. And for the factory, maybe more than that, there is the motor system, the pressure system, right, or boiler system, etc. So put all the information about the system, utility system, description, and take the picture to this chapter. And to make available also in terms of the power consumption, etc. For example, here, the cooling tower, so how many units? 4 units figure, okay? So you can write a table, something like this, and list down all the system. For example, list of cooling system, list of chiller. So this one is the rated, the rated rating for power, brand, etc. The information. So this chapter all about the information, okay, from the active system or the system involved in a building. All right. So finish for the part 5 or section 5. In the energy audit, the most important thing is energy consumption information. The all auditing team must focus to produce this one, because this one is the measurement data that we have from the audit process. Okay, we put on the section 5 or section 6 is all the measured information or data in this section. For example, electrical load profiling. We get this load profiling from the measurement of the load, load profile by using a meter. Okay, for the house or for the short lot, you can find this load profile from the smart meter, or in a building, you can find by your own from the DPN, digital power meter. Or if there is no available meter, then you need to verify using the portable meter or energy meter. So make load operationing detail system or appliance. So this one is the example for the incoming load profiling, to do something like this and to provide this load operationing. This one load operationing, for example, lighting issue, plug load, or you can find any other thing here. This one lighting very smaller, okay, the cooling system or chiller system 60%, etc. So based on the measurement, all about the measurement. Okay, to get the real, for example, here the real measurement for the cooling system, for the chiller, we come up for the chiller plant, we come up with the load opportunity for the chiller plant. Okay, for example, chiller 1, chiller 3. This one is all about the active system. No need to measure for the non-active system because the system is shut down. Okay, so during the audit, measure the only active system, and we come out with the load opportunity, something like this, and we come out with the profiling as well. So here the power, not the power rated, but this one is the measured one. Okay, maybe one off, we can measure one off for the cooling tower by using our portable energy meter or power meter. We can get the power here, not from the rated one. This one is the real measurement in the to the active system. So we got the uh, condensed water pump here, condensed water pump, chill water pump, CHW, chill water pump, chill water pump. So what's the value for the power? We write down, or jot down to one piece of paper. Okay, we come out and put in the report. So we can get all those things, come up with total and make some load operationing for the specific for the chiller plant. And from there, there's the analysis and come out with the COP for the chiller plant, calculate directly the chiller plant COP, cooling, etc. and compare to the standard MS 1525. Here the available cooling tower. Okay, so we measure based all those things, measures and come up with the efficiency, the effectiveness of the system. So for this section 6, remember student, so all about the measurement and how we can assess their current effectiveness or efficiency. Okay, so for chiller, the COP1, for another part, for the motor, the efficiency for motor, the efficiency for this cooling tower, the effectiveness, etc. Okay, to get know their loading. So after that, we come up with the summary for example, this one, loading of the city cooling tower for cooling tower 1, 2, 3, and 4. So this one, the effectiveness, the less effectiveness for this one, half. The loading is close to 100, but the effectiveness is half. So something wrong with this cooling tower. So must do some improvement in terms of the maintenance part, or we can do a cleaning part as the suggestion for the improvement or for the energy conservation measures later on. Here are the examples of issue, the measured power, for the motor. This one is the rated. So to know motor loading, the effectiveness, the loading of the motor. Okay, so this one, measured power over rated one. Okay, so the motor loading is only 15%. Multiply with 100%, so we can get this motor loading is not fully utilized. Okay, but never mind, this one is the good sign. If the efficiency of the motor we can verify later on, so we can get when the motor loading drive small power, then it's a good sign to get better energy consumption, right? To reduce the energy consumption. Here are the examples we also put on this section 6, the room data survey. This one for the lighting, okay? The lighting. So for the lighting, the location and what type and the unit, the units of the lighting. For example here, okay, list down the type of the lamp and you can put write down the units of the lighting. Okay, then total up all the lighting and you can get this summary of the lighting and come up with the load breakdown for the type of lighting. Okay, something like this. And we know that the major fluorescent lamp, 36 watt. Okay, so immediately we know how to write the ECM later on, because when we tackle all this one to retrofit, okay, to change to the LED, because this one is the conventional lamp, the fluorescent lamp, and maybe in the energy conservation measure part, we can propose to the retrofit for the LED one. So how many lamp that they have? So about 4,000. So there's the opportunity to change from this conventional lamp, fluorescent, and CFL to the LED lamp. Okay, room data survey for the temperature. You can come up with this direction, the number of room. Okay, so list down and put this, create this graph, something like this. Okay, so refer to the MS recommendation. This one is for office 24 to 26. So come out with this indicator, and we can see here there's the opportunity to improve, because about 75%, okay, or number of room 279 is within less than 24, which means out from the standard 1525. So that's the opportunity for saving here. So as the auditor, we must suggest something. When we found that that's the when we compare to the standard, and that's the available room to be improved and to setting up their temperature back, and to setting what? To setting the cooling system. And the involved system is chiller plant. So for the chiller, so we know that must do something with the chiller and issue, etc. And also for the humidity, okay, the standard one, 50 to 70%. So there are something to be done for the humidity as well. When we get some of room get higher humidity, relative humidity, compared to the standard MS 1525. Also for the lux level, the derivation here, okay, when we come out with the standard over the measurement over standard, and we get the deviation here. So recommendation by MS 1525 is plus minus 30% from the standard. So here there's the overlead, we call it overlead here, or underlead or overlead. Okay, this one is underlead or overlead here. Or within the range 21%. So for the overlead one, we know we can do something, or underlead is not enough. Okay, underlead, this one negative 20%, more lower than negative 20%. So must do something for this one. So the room involved. So these maintenance guys or the top management must decide something for the underlead, which is not achieve the lux standard lux level by MS 1525. So when we come out with the suggestion for the ECM, for example, to retrofit for the LED, so make sure this LED will produce good illuminance or lux level is over than standard one, okay, to fulfill the requirement of the MS 1525, and then to put this lux level under within the range of the lux deviation. Okay, next section is energy saving opportunities and measures. So after we presents the available measurements and analysis of the real system, okay, the system available inside the building. So we come up with the energy saving opportunities or end measures. So for example, we list down all the ECM1 sustainable energy management system setup to improve or to get better policy setup. Can you refer to chapter 2, this one? Okay, so you must suggest something about the to set up the or to improve the sustainable energy management system. If that building or that company have set up energy management system, then you suggest for the improvement. If there is no sustainable energy management system exists in the company, and you must suggest a better proper plan for this kind of the system to be set up in that company or factory or buildings. Can ECM number 2, so this one is the example of the ECM for the same improvement, come up with the investment or a payback period, etc. So this one is the LED retrofitting. You must come up with something like this in the table, so we can get this idea on what's the cost for the investment, what's the saving, what's the saving in terms of cost, etc. And also this one is the extra for the CO2 saving as well. So the payback period must be there so that people can do some determination later on when they want to do some execution work for this kind of the ECM, so that they can have their brief idea what's the cost for the investment and the payback period. Basically, the top management will review on this one first before they agree to endorse some of the cost or budgeting for this kind of the work. Okay. So measures for the tariff, that's the important to review or to get the idea on the tariff one. You have also learned about the tariff selection, right? So to suggest if there is the opportunity for the tariff transform and put them as the saving measures as well. And lastly, put the summary, propose the implementation plan. Okay, this one is the same table. If you notice, this one is the same table to the executive summary, and maybe this table you can put and copy and paste in the executive summary after this. And in this section 7, try to make some available for the implementation plan. For example, here, target to implement the ECM number 1. So what's the target in year of 2000 what? Okay, so this one is the examples of the implementation plan. So next one is the reference. So the next section is the reference. Put the reference. Okay, finish for the technical reports. So if there is any question, you can contact me after this. Okay, so enjoy your watching for this recording video. And if there any question, so inshallah I will help you if you contact me or you can ask, or we can do some discussion in the group later on. Okay, so that's all for today. That's all for this session. Okay, take care and bye.